So families like animation, they like comedy, they like free movies streaming at home. This might be it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and ridiculousness. Man, I almost forgot how I intro these things. I was on vacation last week. I am back, first time in the studio. It's probably going to be rusty like that, opening bit was, but whatever. I'm talking about a movie that is coming to Netflix. It's animated. It was delightful, and it's called The Mitchells versus the Machines. As the Mitchells take a cross-country road trip to take their oldest to college, machines begin to uprise, and it's up to the Mitchells to save the world. So is this brand new Netflix animated movie that also is coming from Sony one of the best on the platform? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you thought of The Mitchells versus the Machines. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What parts did you laugh at? Let me know in the comments down below. Now let's get into some of the good. So first things first is this movie was supposed to come out last year under the name Connected. Somehow through some Sony dealings and whatnot, now it's coming out on Netflix. That's the behind the scenes and whatnot. But this movie was gosh darn so delightful. Like, this is one of my favorite movies of 2021 so far, especially coming to Netflix. Like, this is putting some quality on the platform, and the thing that really jumped out at me was, some jokes we'll get into later, the animation we'll get into later, the voice cast and coloring we'll get into later, but the story at the center of this movie is what felt like there was heart. There was heart at the center of this movie, the heart of the movie. That's what really worked for myself, because it is kind of your run-of-the-mill family road trip, take the daughter to college, and then, you could kind of have some reminiscing and whatnot. But the way that they structured it was very fun, very goofy, like I said, heartwarming and whatnot, but you felt the love for these characters, and the characters felt for one another, of maybe seeing something from someone else's perspective, or finding out information about, the daughter finding out something about the father that he had essentially had to give up for his children through life, and he was essentially just trying to give them the best life possible. And it's this father-daughter dynamic that very much is like the core of this movie, but also the family dynamic as well, of like a family sticks together, a family works together to get through the end of the world where robots essentially take over. So I loved the way that they played into that central core storyline, but then the goofiness of a phone app essentially just overrunning the world and capturing humans and sending them off into space. It is ridiculous. It is perfect. And the thing is, from the animation and whatnot, I did feel like this very much fit into that world of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which I had no clue. Again, produced by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They also were involved with that. Those two movies, the Lego movie and a handful of other ones. So like the almost animation styles tie in with their previous work and whatnot, but also tie in with this unique look, because the animation throughout this movie is very kind of colorful. It's not incredibly detailed like a Pixar movie, but again, it is this 3D aesthetic, but then there's a lot of 2D pop-ups, a little like maybe a heart comes over someone's mind when they're thinking of something that they love for a little bit of, a handful of frames and whatnot. So the way that they combined this 3D with this 2D, I thought gave this movie even more character, and the goofiness was completely ramped up because this movie knew what it was. It was this road trip family, end of the world fighting robots stick together. Let's get weird, let's get crazy, let's almost like throw like album art, like a children's Green Day-esque album art stylings on the screen of like these goofy little characters every now and then, or like this callback to a character and it just freeze frames and you get the joke, or it sets in and whatnot, obviously with the callback. So I loved how the animation tied in with not only the story but the humor, because the way that they put up certain animations or freeze frames at certain times in this movie drove the humor even more. I laughed out loud a lot during this movie. This is one of my favorite favorite movies that I said earlier, but one of the funniest movies I have seen this year. And again, we're still a little bit early in the year. Some of the humor might hit towards a younger audience, but honestly, I think that it's a great balance between your kids are going to love certain humor and aspects of this, but also you as an adult or more of an older person like myself that doesn't have kids, thank God, they will enjoy it even more because again, I loved this movie. I thought it was very funny, very goofy and whatnot, and it came from two writers. It wasn't Phil Lord and Chris Miller, but rather Michael Rianda and Jeff Rowe. I believe they both were writers on like Gravity Falls. I think one of them was also in Disenchanted on Netflix. And the thing is, from what I've heard about this Gravity Falls show, is it's very random, very weird, and that is what this kind of felt like, where you know, it's a cohesive story and the jokes and humor hit, but when they throw up those random freeze frames with these characters saying something, that was the best part of this. So the way that they wrote this story, because that was the lifeblood, the core, but the way that they structured this all together to add jokes and add these bits and almost sketches in between, I thought really worked so damn well. Again, the Mitchells versus the Machines, I cannot rave about this enough. I mean, the voice cast is wonderful, each giving the characters humor, each again giving the characters these goofy times to shine that were hilarious, but also the animation, the coloring is very bright and vibrant and glowing at times. Like, this is a really colorful, great movie to watch, and every aspect that I was looking at in this movie hit and almost, it exceeded my expectations. I was looking forward to a fun road trip connected movie where they're on their phones, and this is beyond what I could ask for and what I expected. Now, getting into the cons of the Mitchells versus the Machines, well, my phone here isn't working. I have zero notifications. This was wonderful in so many different aspects. Like, again, if you're watching this review, just go watch the movie right now because it is delightful. Overall, the Mitchells versus the Machines is a hilarious, delightful road trip family comedy. With it again checking every box on my review card, from voice acting to story to animation to humor to bright lights, colorful, weird, goofy randomness thrown in there with no negatives at all. Stop. Go and watch The Mitchells versus the Machines, because not only is this one of my favorite movies of the year, one of the best movies, one of the most heartfelt movies, but one of the best movies on Netflix that is streaming right now. Don't be intimidated or turned off by the animation. This is a fantastically hilarious movie. In closing, I'm going to give The Mitchells versus the Machines 4.8 out of 5 family road trips. So what did you all think of The Mitchells versus the Machines? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love the kid and the dinosaur aspect? That's all I'm going to say, because that was one of my favorite parts. Let me know in the comments down below, what part did you laugh at? Anyways though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there, you know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. Later today, it might be a little soon, but WandaVision, oh my gosh, Falcon and the Winter Soldier season finale. We're watching it, we're reacting to it, we're breaking it down, all sorts of that, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, follow my social media, including TikTok. I'm doing a lot of breakdowns, a lot of videos, a lot of entertaining sketches over there, and obviously follow all my other social media down there. Like this video, subscribe to the JBuck Studios channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.